And I'm blowing up my phone. Smoking on a cone. Alright, are you ready for plus money week 5? Wow, 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 wow. Let's get up in this thing right now. You ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
It's Thursday night football. Back again. Pepperoni P and degenerate gambler lose your mortgage on all my plays. All right. Uh, these teams played last year in a Thursday night, and it
It
ended
was a
up
banger, dude.
it was 12-7. I can strictly remember this one, and it kind of makes
Came
me
down to
want.
the final play.
Yeah, I really kind of want to go and bet under 45 on this one, just for like historically. But the way I'm leaning, of course, is Commanders money line. If you got that in some parlays, I don't really love the spread as it's gotten up to 6. I had a play on -4.5, but +6. I don't know. The Bears might get a little backdoor
Pacific.
cover.
Yeah, backdoor city.
My play on this one was Terry McLaurin, longest reception, over 23.5 yards.
Oh yeah, blown coverage.
Yeah, blown
Bears.
coverage. Bears bad pass defense. Hal's been using Terry McLaurin as his favorite target. I expect Terry to at least break one over 23.5. And then I also liked Brian Robinson over 63.5 rushing. Those are kind
We
of the
think alike.
plays.
I was laying in bed last night at about 1 a.m. and I'm like, man, I need to bet on something. And I'm looking and I'm thinking about the games and everything, and I'm like, Brian Robinson over on his rushing yards. I think I got it I might have got it like 64. I can't remember the exact number.
Yeah, I was
Also
kind of
beat,
thinking he could get 70.
Your favorite plays are not showing up.
Yeah, I just have it as the chat down there today.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if that was intended. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we'll get to. I don't have too many favorite plays, like one or two I'll talk about. But
Gotcha. Okay.
I also was in on the Texans, so I was just kind of riding over there today. But moving on
Gotcha.
from there, who do you have tonight?
I've got Jacksonville. Oh, tonight? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jacksonville. I've got Commanders. Yeah, I got a decent hefty penny on Commanders money line. It's not gonna pay much, but I just don't see. I'm gonna bet against this Bears team until my bank account cries.
Yep, I'm riding that wave. I think you can bet against them 90% of the time this year and make some money.
I'll end up at the end of the year. So.
All right, getting out of the Bears then. What you seeing out in the London matchup?
Man, this one is my read for this game is if you don't want to lose money, probably don't bet this game. There's no value in Buffalo, and it's a big risk to take Jacksonville. I would be on the train of taking the 5.5 though for the Jaguars. I want to take them. It's almost like a home game. They're super popular over there. They got to stay the week over there. Bills are coming off one of their biggest wins of the season, shutting down one of the best offenses in the NFL that was the big hype train. This is a letdown spot. This is a trap game. Don't bet the Bills. Just if you have something you want to throw on it, throw a little bit on the Jaguars spread. Take those points. That's how I feel about this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually had one of my kind of favorites I was leaning towards was a Jags plus 5.5.
It's a little scary because they haven't played well, but it's just one of those
The
spots where it's a
spreads
letdown.
move down, and it's like you said, Jacksonville's been over. It's kind of an unprecedented spot. Jacksonville's been in London for 2 weeks straight instead of doing the travel while the Bills are coming over. That travel usually is bad for every team. They kind of play a little worse, so that's why I'm thinking the Bills are going to come down, especially after scoring, you know, monster points against Miami. I'm kind of looking for them to have a letdown spot on the
This
road.
is it.
And
Calling
yeah, so
Jacksonville,
I'm
man.
leaning towards that Jags and maybe a little mid money line sprinkle on a little $5
Yeah,
underdog parlay action this week.
nothing wrong with that.
All right, getting over there. What do you think in the Texans
Texans,
Falcons,
man.
baby?
I love the Texans right now, man. I'm not gonna lie. I started to jump on the train a little bit last week, and I was on the fence, and then they came through for me. So I wrote in my notes literally just ride them while they're hot. I don't know how long it'll last. I know it's not gonna be all season, We all know that. But I'm gonna ride them while they're hot, and this Falcons team's shown me nothing to really. I mean, that just don't scare me. There's nothing the Falcons have done all year that scare me. Bijan's gonna get his, I'm sure of that. But when it comes down to needing to score points or convert that long third down, Ritter's not the guy, and it's gonna end up either being a pick or a three and outs or whatever it comes to. And Stroud can move the ball downfield. He's shown that. So I'm all over this 1.5. I think this is a miss having them as an underdog. But yeah, Ritter's the stat I saw was Ritter's never lost a home game. And I'm just thinking, well, he didn't start much last year, and he got bailed out. Not bailed out. Close game against the Packers this year, and also Carolina. So he hasn't really played a good team at home yet. That was their only counter to my Texans are underdogs. But yeah, so I'm all over Texans, and I think no, that's all I had. I would just take Texans spread. I'm keeping it light. You throw them into a teaser if you're doing a like a 5-team teaser or whatever. They're a good team to throw on there.
Yeah, I'm
You know.
going Texans money line here. That's one of my
Oh,
favorite
that's got
plays.
value.
2.5 ain't doing me much. It's down to 1.5. Just get yourself on the
Mm-hmm.
money line. I mean, we're playing for less than a field goal here. Fuck that 1 point game. Get yourself some value on the
You're
money
right.
line at this point. Uh, this late. I mean, early would have been some maybe +3 on the Texans if it would have got there. I don't
Yeah,
think, but
I don't
I'm
think it
going
is.
money
Started at
line
two and
all
a half.
day on there. But all right, getting off
Yeah,
from Texans Falcons.
got another one for me. Okay, I see you.
Panthers Lions. What do you think about our boys in Detroit?
I like the boys in Detroit, but I don't like them 10 points. I'm just gonna ask you, do you like Detroit 10 points?
Oh,
Like, yeah, they beat up on the Packers. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction,
I
10 points.
just
I
do
mean,
not like the Panthers.
yeah, the Panthers are shit. I mean, what I have for this, it's simple. I don't like, there's no value. I don't see value in buying in 10 points, and there's obviously no value in the money line on the Lions. So, um, I mean, if you're going to throw something on a spread, you'd take the Panthers, but I just said tease Detroit. If you tease Detroit down to less than a touchdown, like a 6 or a 3, get them by a field goal. I think that's the way. Just throw this in a teaser if you have to include it. It's just there's no value.
I'm looking at the under teaser, this one in
That's a good
there
one.
with Cowboys 49ers and perhaps the Patriots game, Patriots Saints. I
Yeah,
think those
I've been
three
on spreads a
together
lot, but
will
the under would be good.
be definitely going under. I don't think the Panthers are score enough points and the Lions aren't going to blow anybody out. So I'll be looking
Yeah,
at an
that's a
under
good read.
teaser there. Uh, yeah, I think you could throw some Lions at home in on like a money line parlay.
Yep, that'd be a play too. This is a parlay game. This game doesn't have value on its own.
Yeah, they're pretty big different teams, but +10 is a lot. You never know. Panthers, they kind of get some garbage time points going in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Probably they could be losing by 17 and come in backdoor that thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right, getting to the divisional matchup down in Indianapolis. Titans versus
So
the Colts.
I guess I didn't mention it, but Houston Texans, just to touch back, that's one of my favorite plays. I'll have that spread, this Colts spread right underneath it. I like getting Colts. Honestly, you can get them at +2.5 now. A lot of money's coming in on the Titans, and to be quite frank, it's just an overreaction to them beating a bad Bengals team. I don't think it's that bad. The Colts went down big and they came back against a decent Rams team. So I think there's just a little bit of an overreaction in this game, and I think there's value, especially now if you can get the Colts as underdogs. Um, Definitely a game I would tease, but I even wouldn't mind getting this at 2.5 or just taking money line Colts. Obviously, like you kind of stated on one of the other ones, you're playing with 1 or 2 points. Just take the money line. Um, yeah, I like Colts here. I think Anthony Richardson showed me that he can move the ball. And this Titans defense doesn't have a good secondary. Their run game's good, but I think Richardson can throw the ball on them, and
Yeah,
their offense is just not one that I would put money on right now.
I mean, we always love a home underdog,
Yeah, we
especially
do.
in a divisional game. I mean, you can't ask for a better spot to
Hmm.
back the Colts, really. I think the Titans are
Correct.
a lot worse on the road most of the time. They'll usually have a letdown, and then you'll bet against them the next week at home, and then that's when they win by 30 somehow. So yeah, look for
Yeah.
the Titans to drop that game really. Yeah, I
I
like the
also have.
Colts. What you got?
I just forgot. This is my first player prop of the day. Anthony Richardson pass yards is only at 204.5. The Titans secondary is kind of shit, so I
Yep.
thought that number was a decent value.
Titans secondary, one of the worst of the league. There could be some value there.
Yeah, I mean, he could sneak out just a few big plays and chunk away at those yards early. But yeah, that was my first player prop of the week that I'm taking.
All right, Titans Colts. Shouldn't be the best one, shouldn't be the worst. All right, this one should be a weird game. Dolphins versus Giants. Everyone would think the Dolphins are going to blow them out. The Giants haven't scored any points in the first half, or they I don't think they've scored any touchdowns in the first
Touchdowns.
half. And if you take away their points they had in the second half against Arizona, they would have scored, maybe one touchdown all year, two touchdowns
Hmm,
all year. So I'm liking the Dolphins first half -6.5. It's one of my
that's good.
favorite plays. Dolphins explosive offense.
6.5.
Yeah, it's less than a touchdown for the Dolphins first half. Like I said,
I'm logging in
Giants.
right now. I didn't know that.
Giants are the worst first half team I think out there, so they're huge. I mean, way better than the -12 or -10 you're gonna get to lay for the full game, and you can cash out early. Little Dolphins 6.5 halftime. Not much to say about the Giants. I mean, if you saw them play, I can't see them putting up. They're gonna putting up any fight really. They're gonna have a shorter week after playing on Monday. Then they get to go play down in the heat in Miami. So that's gonna be a tough test. What are you thinking there?
I'm thinking, what sport book did you get Dolphins 6.5 first half? I think it
DraftKings.
moved. Okay, I'll have to check here. But with that game, I agree with everything you said. Honestly, the Giants are just, I mean, they can't score points, so it's one of those where I could see the Dolphins having backups in the second half, though, and that 12 points is a big number for an NFL team. So I'd stay away from the spread and get that first half, like you mentioned. I think that was a really good call. I will be taking that for sure.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are getting some players back on defense too, so look for them to rush the passer. They think that Daniel Jones might bounce back against a weaker Dolphins defense, but I mean, he can't do anything with
Sure.
that offensive line. All right,
Nothing significant. Yeah.
moving on to a game where I think the under's kind of a big play. The Saints have 3 touchdowns all year.
Jesus, I did not know that.
This
Holy
game
shit.
is gonna should be windy. It should be rainy. The Saints team total under 19 or 18.5, I believe, is plus money. They can get that at a good play, but I'm looking at this game mainly teased under. I don't think it'll get past 45. Kind of like this one with the Cowboys and the Lions game. But yeah, I mean, if I had to lean towards a team, I'd just go Patriots because they're at home and the Saints haven't been able to do much on offense, like we've been saying. 3 touchdowns all year. Patriots have a pretty elite defense. If you had to lean in this one, where were you going, P?
I God, if I had to lean, I don't want. I wouldn't want to bet this. I don't like this just because the Patriots just lost Judon, and can't think of his other name. They had another one of their top defensive players also went
Their
down last week.
cornerback went down.
Gonzalez is what I want to say.
It don't matter.
Um,
Their best corner.
but
They traded for J.C. Jackson.
yeah, there's just their defense for the Saints have been shit. But there's questions at quarterback for the Patriots. There's just a lot I don't like about this game. But I'd just lean Patriots. That's honestly a coaching call. I If I don't know and it's a game with the Patriots, I just lean Belichick because I trust him. He'll put together some sort of a game plan, especially after getting blown out by the Cowboys. You know they're pissed off. So
Mm,
a 1 point underdog is a good spot
Sounds
for him,
like
I think.
Undercity.
That does sound like Undercity, correct. Welcome.
All right, Ravens or Steelers, the divisional battle, the AFC North. Been waiting on this one. Uh, People are kind of feeling the Steelers +4 if Kenny Pickett plays. I'm going Ravens -4. They haven't really had a complete game, but that Steelers defense is just bad. If the Steelers defense can create some turnovers, it might be close. I think the best play in this game is over 3.5 field goals. It's -120. But you got Justin Tucker. I think you still got Boswell over there in Pittsburgh. Those guys are always clutch. Lamar over 1.5 passing touchdowns is plus money. The receivers are getting healthy. Lamar actually hasn't played that many games for Pittsburgh, but he has thrown for 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's only had 3 really full games. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, one of the 3. But I kind of like that with he has his best weapons this year, and they're all getting healthy. Odell was back at practice this week, so I kind of like that. I think this is a game for some props more than the spread, or you could throw this in an under teaser as they historically go low.
Yeah, I like that. I like the under teaser. I think you sent me. I don't know if they were in it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you had a good under teaser with a lot of teams. I think that's a good way to go this week. Um, Man, tough game though. Both teams are kind of Ravens. Yeah, the Ravens are looking a lot better than the Steelers. They just come off a bad loss against the Colts.
Yeah,
So
Ravens are going to be hungry for this one. Roquan
yeah,
Smith's been talking all week. You're not a Raven until you beat the Steelers. So I'll be looking for
yeah,
them to be
yeah.
fired up.
That's a good attitude to have. I definitely don't think they were worse than that Colts team. So I think they're maybe a little undervalued. A touch closer to a touchdown is what I would say. Where I'd have them. You good over there?
We got dead Mike, so that's great production value there for all of you fans enjoying the show. All right, getting out to Arizona with Cincy versus Cardinals. This is a game I hate. The only way I was trying to find some plus money in this, I was digging deep into the lines and everything. They really don't like anything. I mean, you can get Zach Ertz over 30.5 receiving yards. Dobbs has been feeding him, and the Bengals are one of the worst teams in the league at defending tight ends. And if you wanted to get kind of ballsy, the Cardinals have had good first half offense. I would go over 10.5 on their team total for the first half. They usually score early and then they kind of fall off is how they've been going. So either Zach Ertz over 30.5 or some Cardinals first half. I really wouldn't be leaning towards any of these teams. I have no idea what to think. What do you think, P?
Honestly, I like the Cardinals
Yeah,
just because the Bengals have just looked so bad, and they're underdog. They're at home, correct? Is that correct?
yeah, in
Yeah,
Arizona.
I'd be all over Cardinals. That's a spot where you just take them. You get a field goal. Like they've looked better than the Bengals all year, so no reason to doubt myself there. I think the Bengals should be better, but until they show it, I'd take Cardinals.
Yeah, I that's why I'm just avoiding this one. I have trouble
Under
backing
teaser,
the
right?
Cardinals. Yeah, well,
No,
I no, I don't
get it
know.
if you
I don't touch
get it
this
at
game.
54. Oh, I respect that.
I've seen
Some of
the
them are like that. If you don't have a read,
44 is too close. Cardinals aren't that bad. They score enough. I
they
mean,
do.
I
Yeah,
can't.
you're right.
All right, Eagles versus the Rams. If you're betting Cincy versus the Cardinals, honestly, you're just a fan of one of the two teams.
Which we are not here. So shout out to our boy Colton. Um,
Tell us what's
Philly,
happening.
Philly and the Rams, man. My honest question, I have a real question for you. Do we know if Stafford's healthy? I didn't get
They
a chance to look and see.
they thought he's hiding it.
Okay, I don't love that because the what I wrote down was I take the Rams at +4.5 if Stafford's healthy, but if he's not, give me Philly. It's kind of just one of I think Stafford controls this whole thing. I think he can tear up the Eagles secondary. That's hasn't been great. It's been pretty beat up. So, I especially with what it sounds like Cooper is coming back. I'm interested to get some value on the Rams at 4.5. I probably still take it. I mean, if he's gonna hide it, I still trust. I still trust him. He looked good. He brought the team to a win in overtime with the hurt hip. So he'll have some fucking injected with some of that shit from whatever.
I'm gonna
I don't even know what to
fade you
call
on
it.
this one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
you like the
Eagles.
Eagles?
Pass Stafford's not gonna be able to move. Finish the game limping around. Eagles pocket's gonna collapse them. Uh, Rams offensive line ain't that good anyway. Look for Stafford to get banged up, bruised up in this game. Yeah, Rams have no running game. Look for I think there's gonna be too much pressure. If anything, the Rams are gonna have to get the ball out early on some quick passes, I believe. I don't think they're gonna have to. I don't think they're gonna have time to hold the ball and sit there if the Eagles are gonna rush.
You think what would you put? Where would you put the spread? Eagles by a touchdown or more?
I'd
'Cause
play it
that
up
sounds
to
like a
Eagles
murder.
minus
If that
six.
plays out like that, that's bad. That'll be bad for him. So
Eagles
we'll have to
minus
see.
six. I'd play it down to.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be that will be a little bit of an interesting game just to see where Stafford's health is at.
Or Jets Broncos, kind of a
Oh
shitty
hell yeah,
bowl.
man!
What are you feeling
I
over
love,
here
I
in
love,
Denver?
I love this, man. Jets, 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 man. Get you that money line, honestly. I mean, I took 2.5 just because I'll take the little points, but I'll probably also put some on the money line just to bolster my bet a little bit more. Yeah, I think Jets win this. The Broncos haven't shown us anything all season except for the fact that they can come back against bad teams. They almost came back, or they took a big lead and then almost recovered against Washington, and obviously they had a big deficit to overcome last week against another bad team. I haven't seen the Broncos do anything this season that's super impressed me. I think their offense has potential, but it just hasn't come out yet. And this is a good Jets defense. So, yeah, I'm all over the Jets here. I think the Broncos are going to struggle to score. And if Zach Wilson even looks half as good as he did against the Chiefs, they'll move the ball down the field enough to put up enough points to win the game.
Yeah, I'm looking at the kind of. I don't think Zach Wilson's gonna do what he did last week. I don't know
Mm-mm. No, I don't
what was
either. But
up
if
with
he can,
that. I think
he can
NFL
just be
scripters
half.
writers were up with something. They actually kind of the underlying stats were he did not have a very good game.
Really.
Um, I fucking hate Zach Wilson. This Broncos offense might get it going. I want to hammer the Jets money line just because I hope their defense can hold up enough. Stop
That's
that
really what I'm
Broncos
buying into.
offense. And the
That's where
Broncos
I'm at.
defense is just so bad. We'll see. I might be in on a little Jets running back over running yards there.
Yeah, I thought about Brees Hall's
I think
yards as well.
I think that's about the way I'd be leaning on that game.
I
Broncos
like
bad
that.
running defense. I don't think I want to get involved on the side too much. But yeah, if I had to lean, I'd go Jets money line. I mean, why not? Based on their recent
Yeah.
performances.
There's value.
I mean, Jets have beaten the
Chiefs,
Bills.
man.
They might get fired up. This is also that revenge game for Nathaniel
hmm
Hackett shit
Yeah, it
talk,
is.
Sean Payton action, so they might get fired up. You never know.
Yep. I think they will.
All right, going on to a game where I kind of think the Vikings can pull out the upset. What you got for us?
So I guess I didn't think I had the Vikings, or at
No,
least I
where are
didn't
you
have them written
leaning?
down.
Where are you leaning though?
Oh, gotcha. Leaning on this one, I like Vikings plus 3.5. I like the field goal.
Yeah,
Chiefs don't
this
cover spreads very well, and they didn't look good last week. So I mean, try not to overreact to last week because the Jets have a good defense, but the Vikings are a team that needs a win pretty desperately, and the Chiefs are a team that's kind of looked a little bit lost through the season so far. So I like the Vikings at a field goal here.
Yeah, Vikings just got a bad secondary, but I think this game can get kind of a shootout style. I like Minnesota started at +5.5, I believe. This number keeps coming down.
Really?
I got them at +4. A little ML sprinkle, I think would be good here at home. Home underdog's always nice. And a little
Mhm.
prop I like is Kirk Cousins, longest completion over 38.5 yards.
Wow.
I kind of think, somebody, he'll definitely throw up to Jefferson
Addison,
or Addison, and
yeah,
he likes to chuck it deep. And
they've been throwing bombs at Addison to start the year.
yeah,
Good
and if
point.
not, I think one of them can, take a little slant route or something over 40
Yeah, that's
yards.
a good bet. 38
Or
and a half, you said?
yeah, 38 and a
That's a good
half.
number. I like that number.
Yeah, I think the Vikings might be in a little get right spot there against the Chiefs. I'm looking forward to that game. Getting on for
That'll be a good one.
another really good night
Banger, dude.
game that we're gonna have. The Niners versus the Cowboys. Another one
Sunday night
I'm
football, man.
rocking in the under teaser. What you got for us here?
Yeah, this one, man, this one's a tough one. I went back and forth a lot with this one because I just I saw what the Cowboys did against Arizona, and that's kind of what's sitting in my head. I'm not trying to use the past too much, but I haven't seen the 49ers slow up at all. They've been the same team through 4 weeks, it feels like. But God, something about Purdy going up against the Cowboys defense makes me a little worrisome. But I went with my gut, man. I'm taking the Niners. I would throw some on money line, but I probably just take them to win by more than three, the 3.5. It's just that's a tough spot for Purdy, man. He hasn't played a really elite defense this season, and he's gonna have to lean heavily on McCaffrey and Debo Samuel and the boys, man. So it'll that's a game I can't wait to just watch as a fan, see how it breaks down.
Yeah, you got me thinking. I think Mike McCarthy loses big games.
Ah, okay.
This ain't
I
Aaron
didn't think of that.
Rodgers, carrying you to the Super Bowl your one time. Your quarterback
True.
actually sucks. The last time Dak Prescott had a game where he looked like a bona fide NFL, quarterback, elite quarterback, it's it's been seasons. Like I don't think he's
Right.
gonna come out there and ever give us 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, no picks. I like that Niners defense to hold him down. Cowboys defense has had some injuries, and I just think in the end Shanahan's way better than McCarthy. I think he'll have a longer successful game plan, and they'll be able to just get enough points. Maybe by a touchdown. I like the 3.5. I might buy the hook there. Or buy a point, maybe a 2.5.
Hmm.
This kind of could be a field goal game. Little playoff atmosphere for sure. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's
my
a big game.
guts, like you said, the Niners haven't scrolled down, and I do not like McCarthy in big games.
Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of my point. Is like they haven't slowed up at all, but this is a spot where Purdy's really gonna show us. He's gonna be pressured. He's not gonna have a bunch of time. So this is where he's good. Supposedly is when he's getting blitzed. I mean, that's what the stats say. So this will be a big test for him. I'm excited to see what he can do.
And then we finishing up in Las Vegas on Monday night. The Packers taking on the Raiders out in Vegas. Uh, I don't know how you could back the Raiders here, really. They have QB questions. Garoppolo's not looking good in the system anyway. It doesn't matter if Aiden O'Connell's playing. I mean, I think the Packers I think we're +1. I think it's shifted. They're the favorite now. I'd be looking for the Packers all day on this game. Raiders kind of feel like the Bears, honestly, a little bit. It's like you just got to keep fading them until they show you something. Uh, Packers have had some life. It's too early for player pops right now, but I'd be looking at Love's over on passing again. If it's sitting anywhere below 240, I'd kind of jump on that. How you feeling about the end of the week 5 out in Las
I love
Vegas?
I love the Packers being the underdog, man. That's a great spot. I think I'm off the Raiders. I was thinking they had something. I had them against the Steelers when they played Steelers Sunday night. I think you were with me a little bit on that, but um, yeah, I felt like I got put in my place after I watched that game. I was like, okay, shit, I had a bad read on them. They're just not coming together very well with Jimmy G. He obviously is a little banged up and whatnot, but Josh Jacobs isn't looking good. Devontae is pretty much the only thing on offense that they have. So, and he just can't win the game for you, unfortunately. Even though he had 2 touchdowns, I know he had 45 points in fantasy because
He's
I played
not
against
throwing to
him.
himself.
Yeah, like that's the issue. And just backing up one note, I had to look because I was curious on the Cowboys. I was curious if how close their defense is to outscoring them, and the defense has 3 touchdowns to the offense's 8. So I mean, there's a gap there, but it's like it shouldn't be like that, really. I mean, your defense has 3 touchdowns, and there's only 4. It's 4 passing touchdowns. I just thought it was funny. You were talking about Dak not being that elite. Defenses keeping up
Any
with him.
interceptions?
What's that?
I said, how many interceptions for Dak?
Oh, Dak's interceptions. He has just 1,
Mm.
but he hasn't throw the ball
4-to-1
because his
ratio.
defense is running them in for him. So he's not
Yeah.
even out on the field half the games. Funny.
Yeah, I'm liking the Niners there more and more. But all right, there's our 30-minute Thursday. We just hit the mark. Looking
Yes,
forward
sir.
to the Raiders and the Bears coming up here in 15
Commanders and the
minutes. Oh,
Bears.
yeah, whatever. I don't know why I said the Raiders.
It's, same thing.
Commanders and the Bears
Anyway,
coming up.
left hand up.
Left hand up. Who were we?
The Commanders. Commanders. Commanders.
All right. Good luck to all the Commanders betters out there.
That's me.
Bears betters get fucked. See you next week. Bye.